Let's be honest, we've all done it. We've all clung on tightly and we've all tried to control the uncontrollable, and we've all acted from time to time a little bit erratic when things are going seemingly uncertain or out of control. We really want answers, we really want an outcome to some goal we're working on or to some challenge that we're facing. And the natural human reaction from an unconscious place, if we're not really super grounded and in our spiritual awareness, is that we will do exactly that. We will grip on, hold on tight, try to make things happen, force things, push, get emotionally distressed, and end up in a completely not graceful state. And we really need to learn how to let go. Our mindset and our emotional state and our energy, if we're gripping on, just gets completely out of balance. So we start to feel frazzled, stressed, afraid, doubting, worried. And what's happening in those times, if you're a person of faith, if you're a person of belief, if you're a person on a spiritual path and you believe in something greater than yourself, you believe in divine order and timing, you believe in a greater unfolding and a higher good, then what's happening in those moments when we are getting all frenetic and frazzled and gripping on and we're not surrendered is essentially we're not trusting. We're not trusting life. We're not trusting what you might call the universe, God created divinity. We're not trusting our soul. And in our mind, we're saying, I need to get a handle on this. I need to get a grip on this situation. I need this situation to go the way I need it to go, and it's not going that way. It's either not happening fast enough, or I don't like the way this is unfolding. And so we look at the situation and we say, this should not be happening. This should be happening another way. This should be happening faster. I don't understand why this is happening. Why is what I prefer not happening? And there is always a greater order, a higher order. There's always a spiritual unfolding below the surface level events of our lives. And that doesn't mean that we don't end up really affected in our mind and emotions when life is going a way that we don't prefer. But it's critical for us to make a choice in those moments about whether we will lose all our faith and our spiritual alignment or whether we will double down on that business, like triple down, quadruple down on your faith and spiritual alignment. Because the true test of your faith and trust in your soul and in the universe and life is not when things are going nice. It's when you are put under a situation where it doesn't look the way you want it to look. And the question is, who are you going to be in those moments when all the balls are up in the air and you don't know what's going to happen and you realize you don't have control over what's happening?
You're listening to Practical Spirituality with B, the podcast with spiritual advice for your everyday life, helping you align with your soul so you can live with purpose, fulfillment, and magic. I'm Bernadette Logue. You can call me B, and I'm excited to share this episode with you.
So in this episode, we're going to talk about the practice of spiritual surrender, which is how to let go, how to release your grip, how to surrender your illusionary sense of control with 6 easy steps. And these are things you can do anywhere, anytime. So this is a process from one of the modules inside my Soul Odyssey program, which is a program I run with regular live support sessions, group coaching and Q&A sessions, and a really beautiful community of people from all over the world, all around aligning you with your soul for purpose, fulfillment, and magic, giving you all the tools from A to Z for your spiritual path. So if you're interested in that, you can go to my website and find out more. That's www.bernadettelogue.com, Bernadette Logue, Logue.com. So before we go into the 6 steps for spiritual surrender and letting go of control, let's remember what control is, what we have control over, what we don't. So there is an illusion that we all buy into that we have control over certain things. And we often live in the illusion that everything in our life is about us and is within our ability to directly influence and control and direct. Like, I'm living my life, I'm choosing where it's going, I'm making it happen. And it's a funny old thing because in personal growth and in spirituality teachings, you will hear a lot, you are the creator of your reality and you create everything in your reality and you need to create your life and everything that's showing up is your creation and that's for your growth and your development and all those things. And there is a lot of truth to that and that's very powerful and it's very important to understand. But you don't control other people, you don't control your soul's agenda, you don't control the energy and movement of life, which is the oneness of life in a symphony of energy moving as a collective of which you are part of. But what you do have control over and how you're interacting with the nature of reality is this. You have control over one thing, and that is yourself. That is, you have the ability to take your consciousness wherever you want. You can lock down your consciousness, you can shut down, you can expand your consciousness, you can elevate it. You can reach into other dimensions, other levels of awareness. You also have control over your mindset and what you do about your mindset, the way your mind was conditioned throughout your life, the way other people influenced your mindset. You have control over that. You can start to shape your mindset and your reality differently. You also have control over what you do with your emotions. You may not control the emotions as they arise because they come like little messengers that wash over you, but you do control your response to that and at least your choice to learn how to manage your emotions. And other things you have control over are your overall state of energy, your choices, your actions, your behaviors, the words you speak. And here is where that's powerful. All of that is your message to life. All of that is the key to how you plug yourself in to this broader energetic fabric of life that you call reality. And your energy through your consciousness, mind, energy, emotions, choices, behavior, actions, and words is influencing your reality, is shaping it like molding clay, but that doesn't mean you control it. So you can influence a situation and people through your energy. You can influence outcomes. You can influence and manifest through your energy, but you don't control it and you don't control everything about it. Life is like this dance between you and reality. So your soul is your essence, and that's who you are, and it's currently here in your body, and you have a mind, a body, a personality, and a life, and that's the vehicle that your soul is playing through to have this experience in 3D reality that is your life. So your soul is here to dance with life. Now you're either going to let it dance by being surrendered and flowing and graceful and positively influential through your energy, or you can lock down ego, mind, power over, fear, stress, doubt, and you can lock down. And that looks like clamping down, trying to control what ultimately isn't within your control. If there's uncertain events around you, other people that aren't playing the game you want them to be playing. So we want to think about life as a dance. It's not a dictatorship. And it really helps to humbly remember that you're not the only party at play in your life. You're not the only character in the movie of your life. There's a lot of moving parts that are connected to the oneness, God created divinity universe, that are also moving in concert and symphony with you. And that's where faith and trust comes in. And that's why when things aren't going the way you want, it's really important to have tools like spiritual surrender steps that can help get you out of that clamped down energy to open your palms, open your heart, breathe a sigh of relief, relax, let go, and allow life to flow. Because when we clamp down, we prevent the flow from naturally happening. And that looks like more things going wrong. And we don't understand why things are getting more difficult instead of resolving. It also helps to remember that, spiritually speaking, we always get what we need, but it doesn't always look like what we want. So through this process that I'm going to take you through these steps, you'll start to see that for yourself. Spiritual practices like this are really amazing to help you navigate times of uncertainty so that you can walk with grace. Because we have tools in life for everything. We have tech tools, technology tools, we have apps, we have, all different ways of planning and organizing and supporting ourselves in every different area of our life. And we need those tools for our spiritual self as well. So let's dive into it. And as we do, I want you to remember this as well. These are steps for practice with awareness and intention and a willingness. These are not requirements, criteria for you to try to be a perfect person. Because even with practices, it's fine if you end up being a bit of a hot mess from time to time. It's just about coming back to center, picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, and going again with a new level of understanding and awareness. Okay, let's get down to business. We're going to go through how to set the scene for surrender, and then we'll talk about 6 steps to practice. So, you could journal this. It'd be very helpful to do that. What you want to do is, first of all, name the specific issue that you want to surrender. The second thing is, notice how you feel about it. What is the feeling you're carrying around about this issue? Concern, fear, stress, doubt, excitement, what's going on? Then, 3, notice your instinctive, unhelpful reaction to this situation. Because on top of the difficult feelings about the situation, there is usually then a reaction, which is mental or words you say or habits you run or actions you take that then load another burden on top of you. Then the 4th point to set the scene for surrender is identify the negative impact of your reaction. What is the price that you are paying for gripping on, trying to control, not letting go, not feeling released? Because you really need to notice that to be motivated to practice surrender, because there'll usually be mental and emotional drain, possibly physical flow-on consequences if you're carrying a lot of stress or concern or doubt or worry. It could be affecting your relationships because you're behaving a certain way or you're communicating in a certain way. Next, you want to write down what is your optimal desired outcome. What is the thing that you wish life would just do? So I want it to go this way. I just wish this person would do that. I just wish I knew the answer to this, and I wish the answer was XYZ. So you're giving yourself permission to voice what your personality self is really, really clinging on to and hoping is going to happen. Next, you want to note, honestly acknowledge what you can and cannot control about the situation and the outcome you want. Because this is like getting real with yourself. Oh, so I'm exerting all of this energy. I'm having this unhelpful reaction. I'm bearing a consequence for that. I'm paying a price for that. And actually, I've got no control over any of it. Or I do have control over some of it. And therefore, the next point is, if you have control over anything that would support you to your desired outcome, what is the action? And are you taking it? And if not, why not? So that's having you step forth to meet life, right? To make sure that you are in your empowerment, you are in your alignment. The next step is to accept the facts of what is happening from a position of non-resistance, which is, this is already happening and I can't stop it. So I'm either going to cling on or I'm going to let go, right? All you're doing is saying, I accept this is happening. That's it. That's what non-resistance is. I accept XYZ thing is happening, or XYZ thing is not happening. I accept that's uncertainty. I accept this person is behaving this way, whatever it might be. Next, the final 2 points before we go through the 6 steps. Remember, we're just setting the scene, getting your awareness accurate before we start surrendering. I invite you to declare that you are willing to trust and have faith in the way your life is unfolding, even though you don't like it. Because this is the testament to your faith and your spiritual belief system. You don't even have to fully believe it, but you've got to start at least with an open heart and the words spoken, vocally out loud. I am willing to trust and have faith in the way my life is unfolding. And lastly, to break open your heart and consciousness to be really ready to surrender is this. What if this is meant to be happening? What if this uncertainty, this thing that I'm gripping onto, the answers I don't have, the things I wish were happening and aren't happening, what if in some way all of this situation is meant to be this way? What if there is something I can't see, a bigger picture, a higher plan, and in retrospect I'll look back on this and I will understand it. But right now, I'm willing to accept there is potentially rhyme, reason, and purpose to what's going on. Okay, now we're going to do the 6 steps for surrender. You can see why it's important to have that conversation before we do this, because if you don't have any awareness of what's going on inside of yourself, then you're just going to resist any steps for surrender. You're just going to cling on to the upsets, the fears, not being aware of what's really truly going on below the surface of your awareness. So, step 1 for spiritual surrender. Take your focus off what you personally think should be happening. Admit that you don't know what should be happening. And put your attention instead on inviting the highest good be done. So you remove your focus on what you are so attached to. This should be happening. I need this to happen. And instead you start to say, may the highest good be done. May the highest good be done. May the highest good be done. Because the highest good be done is good for you. And it will be good for the wider totality of universe, creation, oneness. And oneness, creation, universe is going to go in that direction anyway. So rather than be dragged, along, let go. Untether yourself. Unburden yourself. And align yourself to want the highest good. So rather than, I want this person to do X, Y, Z, I want this to be the outcome. Maybe I don't even know if that's the best thing. I'm going to take my focus off that and I'm going to say, may the highest good be done. The second step is ask for divine wisdom, signs, synchronicities, unseen helpers to guide you through this time. Because when you start to surrender and you open up and you get some relief from the mental and emotional strain, guidance can become a lot more obvious to you. So you want to ask for wisdom and guidance and then pay attention to how guidance is showing up in your daily life. That guidance might come to support you to understand what's happening. That guidance might bump you into the energetic space you need to be in. It might bump your mindset or your emotional state into a new level. It might just plant seeds of new information and wisdom that will help you in whatever's unfolding. Step number 3 for spiritual surrender is focus on what you can control, which is yourself, which is made up of your state of being and what you're doing. So your mindset, your emotions, your energy, your physical body, your choices, behavior, and actions. Focus on what you can control to support yourself in your situation. Don't focus on what you can't control, which will only pour fuel on the fire of uncertainty and stress and worry. Step number 4 is daily gratitude for the blessings in your life. It does not matter what your situation is. Your job is to find blessings, teeny tiny, small or big, because when you focus on those, your energy will lighten and it will rise up higher than the frequency of the challenge itself, of the uncertainty itself. And that energetically helps you get solutions. It helps you get flow. It helps things move more fluidly so that challenges can resolve more fluidly, answers can come more rapidly, clarity can arise from within more easily. Step number 5 is look actively at what this situation might be gifting you, teaching you, or asking of you. If this thing you're gripping onto, or you're needing to let go of, or is causing you strain, uncertainty, was here to try to teach you as a spiritual assignment, or was pushing you to be a certain way, to practice something, to become a bigger, wiser, stronger, more soul-aligned version of yourself, what is the situation potentially gifting you? Get creative. Be willing to see it from a new perspective. And then the 6th step is practice rituals that will help you to be graceful, grounded, centered, and calm by forging your spiritual connection more deeply. Because typically what happens is when life gets busy or uncertain, people drop their spiritual practices and then become really unanchored and really adrift. When what you want to do during those times is double down on the practices that bring you a sense of connection to spirit, connection to the divine, connection to your soul, connection to your spirit guides, all or any of the above. It might be physical activity, it might be yoga, it might be swimming, it might be time with your animals, it might be time in nature, it might be journaling, it might be meditation. So you really want to take some time to give yourself the nourishment that will allow you to deal with challenging things in your life. If we are unanchored and we're out of balance, then in our mind, emotions, and body, then it's a lot more challenging for us. It's a bigger ask for us to be graceful and to be able to easily let go. But these 6 steps, if you practice these, you can write them in a journal and rinse and repeat them anytime when you need to let go of something. And just remember some of the points before where we're talking about setting the scene for surrender, just allow you to see things really differently. So by the time you come to practice your 6 steps, you're fully on board and you're really ready to let go. So to wrap things up, spiritual surrender is an act of love toward yourself and towards life. It engenders greater trust, a sense of relief in your emotional system, and it gives you space to relax and to let life unfold. And that is a super important part of your overall spiritual alignment. The more you can sit back and allowing, the greater clarity you will have about your intuition, about what is the next right, most obvious step for you, what is spiritually aligned for you, and what the opportunity in any given situation is. So spiritual surrender will support you on your spiritual path. It will help you be more soul aligned. And if you loved this episode and you want to get a really clear and obvious mind-blowing insight into your soul, who you really are, your soul's plan for being here, your purpose, and your soul journey from birth to death, and how all of these things about everyday life fit in the context of that, including things like life challenges, then come over to my website, bernadettelogue.com, Bernadette Logue, Logue.com, and you can grab my book, Your Soul Journey Simplified, where we go through the 4 elements of your soul plan, 2 ways to immediately get clarity on your soul purpose, the 11 stages of your soul's journey so you can see them actually playing out in the evidence of your everyday life. That book is $5 to download on my website. It comes with 4 in-depth coaching videos that will even further support you alongside reading that book about stepping into your soul power, how to trust yourself, how to trust your soul and your life journey, plus practical steps for creating your life to be even more soul aligned and much more.
Thanks for listening to Practical Spirituality with Bea. I'll talk to you next episode for more spiritual advice for your everyday life, helping you align with your soul so you can live with purpose, fulfillment, and magic.